It's 7 a.m. and this is Good Day on Fox 4.
It is 10 minutes ahead of 8 o'clock on our Tuesday morning. Some backers of the president's health care reform plan are now turning against the plan. We'll tell you why. And crossing generation lines to land a job next. Find out how to open the lines of communication.
And good morning to you in the job shop this morning. Navigating your way through a multi-generational job market. Sherri Elliott is the author of Ties to Tattoos, turning generational differences into a competitive advantage. Good morning and thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
An interesting concept in the book here. You say there are essentially 4 generations all coming together at once in today's job market. Tell me about it.
Yes, it's a melting pot. We have traditionalists who are in their 60s right now not leaving the job market because of cost of health care. Health care is ever rising, and so they need to stay in the job market. You walk into Walmart, they're greeting us because they're getting benefits. Baby boomers, they're staying in the job market because their 401k is now a 201k. And so that's because of the recession we're seeing right now. And so we now have 4 very distinct generations, and we're all trying to work together and find a way to bridge the communication gap.
And those, of course, in addition to the Generation X folks and the millennial folks as well. And all of these people kind of day to day communicate with each other in very different ways. So how does that translate when maybe I'm sitting across the interview table from somebody who's in a different generation than I am?
Right. Pretend I am somebody in my 50s as a baby boomers or in my 60s interviewing somebody who's a millennial and their phone is going off during the interview, and that automatically would stop them from being a candidate to go on further. So they would lose that opportunity, and we all know how hard it is right now to be recognized and get into the first interview. And so that is one of the tips right now that I'm trying to educate candidates and get them out there and to be recognized and to allow them to find gainful employment.
One of the interesting things I found about your book, you were talking about the millennials and the Generation X folks really aren't used to communicating face to face with each other. We're texters or we're typing constantly. You say actually practice talking to a mirror to get ready for the interview.
Or, you know, I am a big advocate of talking, even asking your parents, because I like to look at our millennials, and I call them our trophy babies. They grew up with the trophy in their hand, and parents keep polishing it every day. We give them an attendance award for showing up to school and everything else that goes along with it. So they're very close to their parents. So find someone that you can actually practice with, because they grew up with every piece of technology in their hand, that they do not have good verbal communication skills, and their writing skills are atrocious, and so they really need to have those honed, because when a recruiter looks at their resume and sees spelling mistakes, grammatical mistakes, that's automatically going to negate them as a candidate. Right,
they're used to the slang or abbreviations or whatnot. Now, they're also used to talking about certain things among their peers that maybe aren't appropriate questions to sit down, and vice versa. Let's not forget about the older folks here as well. Maybe there are things that they shouldn't be asking, because it's very possible these days you're being interviewed by somebody who is many years your junior.
Yes, they may say, how are you going to get to work? Are you going to be able to get here on time? Just because you're 18 or 20 doesn't mean you don't have reliable transportation. Or if you're a young lady, they may ask you, well, do you have kids? Are they in daycare?
Right, things that are big no-nos.
No-nos. And I also tell people in the older generations, in your baby boomer and traditionalists, take off the age that you were. If you graduated high school in 1956, get that off your resume. That automatically dates you.
Right. Let people do the math visually. Don't give them any sort of cues. All right, Sherri Elliott, thanks so much for being with us. Also, a book signing for you tonight. You'll be at the Barnes & Noble on Park and Preston in Plano, 7 o'clock tonight. You will, of course, find a link to Sherri's website. It's on our website, myfoxdfw.com. Just click on the Good Day tab.
I was taking notes. Thanks.